The other thing that confidence does is it ends up building grit. So as you remind yourself about the successes that you've had and the opportunities that were before you in the past that you were able to achieve or learn from and grow, that makes your grit stronger. And grit, we know, is super important. It's passion, perseverance. It's like one of the top things that you need in this mental toughness world. Passion and perseverance. You need to love what you're doing, and you need to be able to work through and not quit.
Welcome to Charge Forward Coaching, the podcast for committed athletes and individuals who want to achieve more on and off the field. Hosted by James Blasco, certified mental toughness and resilience coach. You'll gain insights and inspiration from elite athletes, coaches, and others who know what it takes to excel. Are you ready to go to the next level? Then tune in, get inspired, and let's charge forward. Now here's your host, James Blasco.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Charge Forward Coaching Podcast. I'm your host, James Blasco. Today, we're going to talk about one of the 4 C's, but not the way you think. We're going to talk about confidence and what it really is and what it really isn't. Now, we're not going to focus on the typical confidence is built primarily on, good preparation and working as hard as you can at practice and all. We all know that 100%. And we could leave that discussion for another day and go into more detail with that. Today, we're going to talk about, number one, what confidence really is, like where it kind of comes from, but then also a unique way to build on the confidence from all your work and practice and all the things you're putting in that plays an important role. So let's talk about what confidence really is. Confidence is not some fake macho, I can do this, whatever. If you're at home, like playing board games and you don't really know how to play the game and you're just being confident, that's one thing. But if you're in a game environment at an event, whatever it might be, and you've put in work, you have to show up with real confidence, obviously. Because if you don't, your mind knows it. There's no tricking your mind. You may fake everybody else out, look good, right? You're doing all those things, but you really don't have the confidence. Your mind knows it, and it's going to play a role. So confidence really comes from three different areas. Experience. So all the things leading up to that day, that moment, those experiences, they play a big part. Feedback from those experiences, whether it's your own feedback, how you communicate with yourself, how you learn and frame those experiences, and then recovery. Like, what did you do afterwards, after that event, after those experiences, to help improve for the next time? Did you look at your situation? Did you look at the event and grade yourself? Did you find certain areas where you're keeping some kind of metrics on that you can improve and you see trends up or down? And are you planning on how to improve those things? So those 3 areas will help you with your overall confidence, and it's going to grow. You have to work at those things, but you got to take those experiences and the feedback and the recovery and make it part of a routine that you have for yourself and for the moments leading up to game time or those events. So we know preparation's big. I already touched on that. But what else can you do to help build confidence? Well, we're going to have some fun with this, because one of the things you could do to build confidence is, wait for it, create your own like hype video or hype book or hype collage, whatever it might be. And you might be thinking, what do you mean? This is the fake stuff. No, it's not. So if you are practicing hard and you're preparing hard, you're training all that stuff, that's awesome. You have this great foundation of confidence as you move forward. Now what you need to do is sprinkle into the mind things that remind you of how good you really are, the success you've already had, that you've already overcome certain situations that are similar to the ones you're going into, things like that. Because sometimes if you don't do that, even if you're training hard, seeds of doubt will start coming in. They'll sneak in. And the critic, we talked about the critic. I had a recent episode where we talked about the competitive sports anxiety, things like that. All that stuff starts creeping in. And if you don't find a way to control it or even trick it, it could impact you in a negative way. So how do you create this hype video or board or whatever it is you're going to do? Well, number one, simple. Just look at the things you've already done and write them down. Just start listing all your accomplishments. It doesn't always have to be on the field either. Things you're proud of, things that you work towards, you put effort into, and you succeeded, or you got darn close to succeeding, or maybe it was just the effort alone that you're proud of. Write that stuff down. Be as visual with it as you can. Then think about all the people at some point who said, you know what, James, you had a great game, man. You had a great game. You threw that touchdown pass. Nobody could do that. It was great. Or maybe you hit that putt, that 40-foot putt. That was unbelievable. So people have told you things that made you feel good. Write those down. Think about the times that people patted you on the back, a coach, a family member, a friend, sometimes even a fan you don't even know. You walk off the field, they pat you on the back. It's a good feeling. So document that. The other thing you want to do is take screenshots of any texts or emails or chats or social media things that were positive, especially social media. There's so much negative out there, right? People can throw a lot of junk at you, but there's a lot of people that support you and they put some really nice things on there. Take a screenshot, incorporate that into your video or your collage or whatever it is that you're doing, your board you're going to put on your wall. I think it's important to realize that you probably have more good things from your competitive past than bad things. You're just thinking about all the bad things because they're the ones that they hurt the most. Don't make us feel that great. But you've probably done a lot of good things. Even at practice, you've probably done some tremendous things. You need to write those things down and you need to be reading them. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the other thing is, if you're keeping a journal, hopefully you are, but if you're not, start keeping a journal. And every day, write down something you accomplished, something you did good. May not be the biggest thing, but keep track because some days you are going to have some big wins and you don't want to forget about them because it's easy to forget. Nobody has this mind that remembers every single thing. We remember usually the really bad things and the really good things, and in between gets foggy sometimes. Put the good things in, keep a journal, document that. So confidence comes and goes very often upon what we recall. And that's why this hype thing is so important, because you need to recall good things. And when you create the hype video or the hype book or the hype whatever, you want to utilize it at the right times. So you can look at it every day. You can look at it a day or two leading up to a big game or event. You definitely want to look at it the day of the game or event. Just a quick glance, read through everything, remind yourself, because the inner critic's just sitting there waiting as that anxiety builds, right? It's sitting there waiting to jump out. So what you want to do, you have a little hammer called your hype video, your hype book, or your hype collage, and you bonk the critic on the head with it. That's it. That's what you're doing. And put yourself in the right frame of mind. Confidence, we talk about all the time. Confidence is one of the key of the 4 C's. It might be the most important. So you have to really understand how it works, where it comes from, and how to monitor, manage, and grow it, especially as you get closer to events or big things that you're working towards. The other thing that confidence does is it ends up building grit. So as you remind yourself about the successes that you've had and the opportunities that were before you in the past that you were able to achieve or learn from and grow, that makes your grit stronger. And grit, we know, is super important. It's passion, perseverance. It's like one of the top things that you need in this mental toughness world. Passion and perseverance. You need to love what you're doing, and you need to be able to work through and not quit. And if you don't have confidence, it's hard to do that. So as you build confidence, you're going to build grit, because with confidence, you're going to perform better, do things better, learn quicker. You're going to gain the confidence. And then when there's other roadblocks or those times where you're like, most people, maybe it's time to quit or give up or change what I'm doing, whatever, that grit's going to be a heck of a lot stronger. And you're going to be able to work through that a lot easier. You won't even know it sometimes. You'll just do it because the grit is there. It's been built up. It's like building a muscle in your body. So what do you want to do with your confidence? Well, you want to prepare and plan and work hard and get all the things right leading up. That's number one. But number two, you got to build your hype video, your hype book, your hype collage, your hype whatever. But you got to run through it. Make sure you have your successes. Make sure you have your pats on the back. Make sure you have screenshots, things that people supported you. And make sure that you understand why you're doing what you're doing and how you've accomplished the things that you've done in the past with success. So, hope you grab something from that. Get your video cameras out, or get your editor out, get your books out, your journals out, your collage things out, and start making your hype product. You're going to have fun with it, and it's going to help you tremendously. So, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go to chargeforwardcoaching.com. Learn more about mental toughness, and most of all, keep charging forward.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Charge Forward Coaching. Remember, the journey to greatness is built on mental toughness and consistent effort. So head on over to chargeforwardcoaching.com and book a free discovery call to take the next step in your journey. Until next time, stay focused, stay determined, and keep charging forward.